Did you hear J. Cole's album?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
It just dropped, right? He did like
biggest first week sales.
Yeah,
hip-hop.
which is crazy because
album sales, I think.
I love J. Cole and I love his story and I love how, it's like I can relate to that. Like trying your best and thinking things are going to pop off and you're still with the mixtapes and stuff and then you grow up into a big artist like that. I think that's the best.
Have you heard Fire Squad? Right after he dropped that, Iggy was nominated for a Grammy. You think Iggy will win?
I think she should. I think she should win. For the female rapper thing, I mean, let's say I'm being super selfish.
It's not a female rapper thing. It's,
no. Let's say I'm being selfish right now.
Okay.
I hope she wins.
Because she's a female rapper.
Because she's a female rapper.
Okay.
Because that lane has needed to be broken down, and like you said, there hasn't been a female rapper like me for a long time. For there to be a female rapper like me to make it, there needs to be a female rapper not like me. So it's cool. Do I think she's gonna win? Yeah, she won over Eminem on that other thing, right?
Yeah, the American Music Awards, I think. I mean, she's up against. I remember I made this list. There's Wiz Khalifa, Schoolboy Q, Eminem, Childish Gambino, and I think her. I mean, I think most hip hop, purists, I guess, would probably give it to Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q's dope.
I think he made quite an impact.
Out of all those rappers, Schoolboy Q has actually made me cry.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
That line where he talked about his boy losing his son and he's hugging on his little girl. Oh man, yeah. I don't know, I must have been emotional, but I was fucking crying. So he should win based off that. Real shit. I want real shit to win.
But there's kind of an interesting line in that whole J. Cole thing. He basically compared what's happening with Elvis stealing rock and roll from black people to white people stealing this, hip hop these days. He brought in Iggy, Eminem, Justin Timberlake, and Macklemore. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you think about that whole thing? Because you're Mexican, but I feel like a lot of times people think you're white.
People put me in the white category whenever it's to talk shit. But then if I was to make it, you know what I'm saying, or to do certain shit, they're gonna segregate. Like it's just like how Latinos do that shit too, like it's like, oh, I'm not Mexican, I'm Puerto Rican, or I'm Cuban, or I'm this, or I'm that. And they fucking dog Mexicans, and it's like, just because there's a lot of us.
Why do Mexicans get the short end of the stick of,
because we're short, I guess. I'm fucking 5'2", I must. No, I don't know. Every fucking other Latino thinks that they're better than Mexican. And to me, we're all the same shit. Right. Like, we're all the same shit as humans, like black, white, Mexican, whatever the fuck. But even more, even smaller than that, Latinos, can we at least get that shit together? Like, we're the same shit. If you see a maid at Motel 6 and she seems Latino, you don't give a fuck if she's Salvadorian, Guatemalan, Mexican, Puerto Rican. You're like, that fucking maid bitch, the Hispanic one.
Right.
And that's what I'm coming in the game trying to break that stereotype and trying to make a lot of kids that are being raised not Hispanic or whatever, like, to stop being ashamed of being Mexican, because I've seen that a lot. A lot of people try to fake the funk, like they're not. Like, bitch, I see this shit. Yeah, no,
from Spain,
we saw it in your fucking face and your last name. Don't play yourself. But that's what I'm here for. So if you want to talk about the race thing, I'm so worried about getting our fucking people together that don't really got it. And we're in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we grew up on that music. So I don't know, like, I'm not even going to get into the black-white thing, because to me, it's like, I feel like everybody's growing up on music. Hip-hop's growing. Yeah. Like, it's just everywhere. And it is, black rappers started it, but so go back to the 80s, like, there was Hispanic rappers in there. One of the best ones is Pun, to me, I feel like it's a cultural thing. It's a American thing. Like, it all kind of has been going back for a long time, and,
Well, when you talk about Mexicans in hip-hop, that's kind of a very interesting thing, because you have Pun,
Puerto Rican.
Who's Puerto Rican, exactly.
Before I get all the
no,
comments.
I mean, absolutely, and a lot of that, I feel that there's a geographical thing, because in New York, it's mostly Puerto Rican, Dominican.
Yeah, on the East Coast.
On the West Coast, it's mostly Mexican. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you have who's Mexican in hip hop that's really kind of broken some of the barriers. I mean, I guess. Be Real is half Mexican.
Yeah, Be Real's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then you get like a lot of the
Chicano rap.
Exactly. The artists that just focus on the Mexican community. They don't really focus on, you know, kind of like the mainstream stuff. I mean, if it does go into the mainstream, cool.
There's
but
like a
I feel
subgenre of like different stuff.
yeah, like a Lil Rob, for example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a Lil Rob knows he ain't gonna be all over Hot 97. You know what I mean?
Well, he had that like Summer Nights and all that, like, you know, some of those
It happens
songs, and then,
sometimes.
you know,
It
you get like
happens
Lean Like a
sometimes.
Cholo, and then that kind of breaks through. But you know, yeah, I know what you're saying, and that's kind of why it's been hard for me to break through, because I have been worried about two things. Because if you only worry about the mainstream thing, sometimes your community feels like, you know, some type of way, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I give a fuck too much, but that's what's held me back sometimes, is trying to juggle that. But if now that I've been more just focused on, look, like, fuck the race thing, fuck all that, fuck, I'm not even, you know, whatever, like, I think I've been doing a lot better, like you said, you know, like I've been growing a lot, and
Right.
that's how you break the barriers.
Because like Cypress Hill wasn't like a Mexican rap group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just a rap group. They
Yeah.
just happened to be Latino, and then, you know, but they never really even pulled, like, you know, the whole Mexican thing very much. Like, you know, I had to research and find out what
Yeah.
B-Real's background was.
But at the same time, then you get, or like with Latino culture or whatever, Hispanics, whatever, you get the game right now where like everybody's Migos and Pablo and Chapo and you know, La
Yeah.
Madrina and you know, all this other shit, and it's like everybody got the connect from Mexico or Colombia or whatever. Everybody got connects that are Hispanics, but ain't nobody gonna let the Hispanics get into the culture, right? Like that's where my little thing is. It's like, when are we gonna get a shot, or when am I gonna be cool enough?
Like, what does the Mexican community think about Migos? You know,
I don't even fucking know. Me and the Mexican Community Committee have not fucking met lately, but I'll ask them.
There hasn't been a vote recently on the overall consensus.
No,
of the
we
Migos?
used to have Skype all the fucking time, but now, no, I don't fucking know. Like, I'm sure some of them think it's dope, but some of them don't. Like, I don't know. I don't want the whole shit to be all super like all Hispanics think the same, but I just feel like there definitely should be a representation in the media of more Hispanics. Like, I'm proud of an Eva Longoria or Mario Lopez or anybody that, you know, goes out there and represents us, because we're fucking dope. And a lot of us are good looking. Look at Mario Lopez. I mean,
Well, I mean, it goes back to like Kid Frost.
yeah.
You know, and I remember I met up with him and his son, Scoop DeVille.
Scoop,
You know what I mean?
he's dope.
Real dope also. But it's like, you almost expected, you know, when Kid Frost dropped, and he was, I think, on Ruthless Records, it's like you kind of expected that thing to kind of keep growing, and kind of like, okay, like you have, you know, like a big piece of hip hop is Mexican hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because NWA was so big, and this was kind of one of the same thing. But it seemed like it hasn't grown as much as I feel like it should. You know?
Because a lot of times, and I mean, this happens in every, I hear it happen in every race, but a lot of times our own people hold ourselves back.
Yep.
Certain people get too much power. The Chicano rap scene and everything, I mean, it kind of hit its limit because some people got too much power and decided to monopolize, or decided that they were going to create what this image was. And obviously they weren't right. That's why it didn't keep on going. But to be honest with you, that's what I was saying about holding people, like, we all hold each other back, and I really feel, I just know more of the shit behind it. But yeah, I think it's time for some new heads to come in the game and represent Hispanics, and I think that's what's gonna happen.
Well, like when you do shows, is it like a big Mexican, you know?
No,
part
that's
of the
that's the
crowds,
thing.
or
It's like,
not
I'm
really?
representing being Latina and being Mexican because that's what I am, and because I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm not proud of it. Because I said that, is she white, do she right? I meant that because that's what I was seeing in the comments. But people started thinking that I'm like, thinking I'm white. It's like, no, I'm the proudest Mexican that there is. I speak better Spanish than most fucking Chicano rappers you've ever heard in your life.
Right.
However, I'm not just rapping about being Mexican. I literally had this girl in Denver. I remember I went to that, what was that, a theme park. This little white girl came up to me and goes, I love your music, but I'm not Mexican. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What does that mean? What does that mean? You can't be my, no, I have hella white fans. White, Mexican, straight, bi, gay, all kind of shit. Like,